Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor. It is Sunday AM. We're going to be doing a Sunday AM show here every day, pregame, guys. It's virtual tailgating with the top YouTubers on the planet. Yes, FTFN Network brings you the top NFL YouTubers, the guys that live and breathe their team, all coming together in one spot to deliver you guys real analysis. No cookie cutter bullshit. This is the real deal, guys. No more white collar analysts. You're going to hear it straight from the source. The guys that live and breathe these teams on a daily basis and produce content on those teams on a daily and consistent basis. So make sure you guys head over to FTFNNetwork.com, the website for all your latest news and analysis, where these guys are out there pumping content for you guys, because again, that's why we call it FTFN Network, because it is all about you guys. That's what we want to please and make happy, because you guys live and breathe the teams, and you guys want that information from real people. So let's dive into this Sunday AM League Roundup. I'm going to go into a split screen mode here, and hey, look who I've got here on the screen. I want a quick brief, because there's no games today, guys. I want a brief overview, guys, of basically the training camps, what is going on. So we've got our Colts guy here. We've actually got two Colts guy, and they're from Bring the Juice podcast. So I think we got Cody here, right? Cody, what's going on? Introduce yourself and give us a brief roundup. What is going on with the Colts right now?
Yeah, for sure. Well, Phillip Rivers is looking pretty good. There's a lot of guys on this team that were brought in free agency that are looking pretty good. You know, Jonathan Taylor drafted this year. I know, Joe, you've been pretty vocal. You're kind of mad from a fantasy perspective because they split it, right? They split the carries, but Taylor's looking good. Pittman's looking good. Everybody's looking good so far. Okay, so I'm going to be straight with you. What week? Be straight with me. You know the Colts better than anybody else on the planet. When is Jonathan Taylor taking over? What week am I expected to go, yes, I was right about Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack sucks? What week is that? What do you think, Derek?
Derek, chime in.
My guess, if I had to take a very strong guess, is I'm going to guess probably right after the Ravens game. So somewhere right in the middle of the season, when the middle of the stretch starts coming in, the guys are going to start seeing some injuries, and Marlon Mack's going to start getting some of that wear and tear that he does every year. I expect Jonathan Taylor to really start taking the load of the snaps towards the middle of the year.
Oh, man, I hope it's earlier than that, man. I really do. So, guys, we're going to talk a couple minutes with each ambassador for every team, and then we're going to go into a little bit of round table near the end. So stick with us here. So is there anything else we need to know from training camp? Again, Taylor running over defenders. Is that true? That's what I heard. Is this true?
Yeah, that was one where he ran over new signee Tavon Wilson, so that was definitely a good one. So far, defense has looked good, some really good play from there. Again, like Cody said, Phillip Rivers is doing well. Offensive line's healthy. Everybody's been particularly healthy, no major issues. So it may seem a little boring from the outside perspective with the Colts, but that's just how we like it. No injuries. People are starting to work together, so it's all good.
All right, we're going to come back to you guys later in the show here. Let's move on here. I've got Basarowski in the ranks here, Packers ambassador. We're really curious to know what's going on. Is there a QB battle at all we should be concerned about there, or is our main guy, Aaron Rodgers, ready to go? And does he have a chip on his shoulder? What's going on here, Basarowski?
You just love to talk to me about Aaron Rodgers.
I love him.
If he's motivated or not.
Well, because I believe in him. A lot of the mainstream analysts are saying, hey, Aaron Rodgers is washed up. Stay away from him. He's garbage. Let's just draft Aaron Jones again. They think he's going to have this pinnacle season again with 16 or 30 touchdowns or whatever the fuck he had. Listen, they're going to throw more this year. That's my prediction. Lazard gets integrated. Rodgers has a bounce back. He's sick and tired of the Mahomes of the world. He's out to prove that he's one of the best there is, the best there was, the best there. Some Bret Hart action shit in there. He is ready to go. Am I right here? Or am I completely off? Is Aaron Rodgers going to shit the bed again?
I don't think he's going to shit the bed. I think it's a year two system under Matt LaFleur, so it's just going to get better. And, they already went 13-3. So, I wouldn't say they win 13 games again, but I'd still see a more consistent offense under Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers.
All right, so who should we be looking for? Dylan, Lazard, are they going to take off this year? What's going on with those guys?
I think Alan Lazard is day one, so he's going to be a starter day one.
I like it.
Number 2 receiver next to Devontae. Dylan is going to maybe down the stretch get some goal line carries. I don't think he'll start at all this year, but I still think they might split some carries down the line. It's good to keep both backs healthy. Aaron Jones obviously had some injury issues the past couple of years, not last year, but before that with some knee issues. So I could see AJ Dillon when it comes winter time and
Right.
Lambeau gets all cold. I could see him being a featured back in certain scenarios. So I like what they have there even with Jamal Williams too in the backfield.
All right, so when is Aaron Jones going down? I'm a fantasy asshole, and we're dicks like that, but I know he's going to – I like Aaron Jones because I met him. Super nice guy, by the way. Called me sir.
Very humble.
Yeah, very humble, family guy, very nice guy. Called me sir, actually, made me feel really old. I don't know. I am older than him. I don't know by how much. Hopefully not too much. But listen, I mean, he's only finished 1 out of 3 seasons. Is he going to stay healthy? Is there anything that – he looks really good this year, healthy? I hope he is healthy.
Like I mentioned, the key to that is splitting carries. So if he gets 30 touches a game, yeah, he might go down again. But if they balance it between him, Jamal Williams, and AJ Dillon, I could see him having another healthy season. You never know. I never want to wish injury on anyone or whatever, but you never know. But as long as he keeps the touches low and they split it with Jamal and Dillon and even Tyler Ervin, but he's been taking some snaps at wide receiver. But as long as he keeps it low a little bit and they mix up all the backs, I don't see him getting a serious injury. I don't see that.
All right. Anything else we need to know from camp just to get us up to date here from a fantasy or reality perspective?
Couple people sitting out: Zadarius Smith, Jair Alexander, just precautionary. I think nothing crazy. Travis Adams is in a walking boot. He sprained his toe. Tim Boyle is still clearly the number 2 quarterback. Jordan Love is not. He's really raw. He still needs a lot to learn, but that's expected. No one expect Love to come in and play this year, so that's not going to happen. Josh Jackson actually showing up, which is a surprise because he's done nothing in the past 3 years, but he was covering Devontae pretty well, so that's interesting. And Marquez Valdes-Scantling had another solid day. So as long as Marquez Valdes-Scantling can stay consistent, maybe he has a bounce back year, but it's make or break for him this year.
Yeah, definitely, man. He had his opportunity last year, but it's lizard time. Al Lazard. I'm excited to see him.
Alien lizard.
I like it.
Yep.
All right, let's move around here. Let's do a double whammy here. We got JT from JT Sports. He's going to cover 2 teams for us. Give us a quick overview. JT, you are covering the Chargers and Bengals for FTFN Network. You can find JT at JT Sports on YouTube. This guy knows his stuff, and you can also find him as the league ambassador for Around the League at FTFNnetwork.com, covering most and almost all the teams. But today we want him to focus on 2 teams particularly, Chargers and Bengals. What's going on, JT? What's happening, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, man. So let's start off with the Bengals. Anything we need to know in a minute or so? What is going on with the Bengals? Is Burrow into the groove? Is AJ Green healthy? Is he going to finish the season? Is T. Higgins stepping up? Anything we need to know from a fantasy and reality perspective?
It pretty much has been the Joe Burrow show. In the scrimmage he had, he basically went, he completed all his passes in the first drive of the scrimmage that they had, and he threw 3 touchdowns as well. Now, Joe Mixon, who is expected to get a contract extension before the season starts, or if not, they're going to try to get that done as quickly as possible. He's expected to get a little bit more involved in the passing game this year. A lot of people in that Cincinnati Bengals organization feel like he could have a Christian McCaffrey caliber season this year for the Bengals. Then for the Chargers, basically, the biggest news is the fact that Melvin Ingram has returned. They reworked his contract for the final year, so that's a positive there. And pretty much it hasn't really been nothing that innovative on offense. Tyrod Taylor is still expected to be the starting quarterback come week 1. Justin Herbert still has a long way to go, and he's kind of concerning me. He kind of looks like Mr. Trubisky now.
So Taylor, do you think Taylor steps up this year, or is it going to be the Taylor from Buffalo years ago, a guy that looks good on the feet and stuff but doesn't get it done in the games, really?
I mean, Tyrod Taylor is going to be good enough to win games for the Chargers because this is a better team that he had when he took Buffalo to the playoffs a couple of years back. You got better wide receivers. You got Keenan Allen. You got Mike Williams. You also got Austin Eckler in the backfield. The biggest flaw is the offensive line, but they improved that. They brought in Trey Turner, and I believe they brought in Brian Bulaga from Green Bay, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, again, Taylor, I just find, again, maybe I could be wrong. He's kind of like those guys that doesn't wow me. He's like a Darnold. He's like one of those guys that's just not on the other level. That he may get you to playoffs, but he just won't win those games. That's how I feel he's that type of player. I could be wrong. Maybe he steps it up this year. Anybody can emerge. He's got some pretty decent weapons around him. So, man, thanks for the update, JT. I appreciate it. We'll get you chiming in later near the end if you stay around. So appreciate it. All right, let's move on here. A lot of people in the comments here talking about Big Cat and his hat collection. Is Big Cat in here? Big Cat, are you there? Let's go to the Panthers.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, everybody. Oh, a new hat.
Got a bucket hat today.
What is this? I'm not good with hats. It's like a fishing hat, or what is this hat? Camping?
It's a bucket hat.
Okay, all right. This is nice.
Pimp
Okay.
hat.
So I want to know from a fantasy perspective. I'm greedy here. I go right to the fantasy. Is Teddy looking good in camp? And I heard he's looking efficient, looking good. I don't know. You would know better.
Hold on, I got some breaking news for you, man.
Tell me, please.
The Carolina Panthers just released running back Jordan Scarlett, former University of Florida standout. I'm a little disappointed here. Again, another one of Marty Herney's pick that didn't pan out. General Marty Herney. Will Greer came out yesterday, said he didn't know how to be a backup in his lead.
Wow.
This shit is starting to get a little frustrating here as a Panthers fan. Like, we haven't even seen him on the field just yet, and he's gone. So
Man.
I don't know. I'm a little frustrated right here. But moving on to your question about Teddy Bridgewater, they had this scrimmage this past Saturday. He went 9 of 13 for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns, throwing a touchdown to Chris Manhurst and Reggie Bonnafon. Looking efficient, looking accuracy, looking real good. On the downside, the defense and the offense both had a lot of penalties. That can really hurt a young team, but that also gives me hope because they're very eager. The fact that they're jumping off sides or committing small things like that lets me know they're eager. They're playing with high energy, but that definitely has to be fixed. Omar Bayless, Arkansas State standout. He ended up hurting his knee. They thought it was just going to be a minor little injury. Looks like he may need surgery on that knee, so that's down the drain as well. A little side note, Jordan Scarlett was waived to bring in an extra kicker or punter. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to us lately. Our punter, Joe Charlton, he's been kicking duds. He kicked the ball outside of the training camp facility. So that's the reason why we need another kicker or punter on the roster.
I think I saw that clip there. He kicked it out to the left, I think. Yeah.
Silly shit. That's what it is.
So what, after that, he got ridiculed for that? And he's like, just for that one kick?
No, it was multiple times.
Oh, multiple times. Okay, that's why. Yeah. God.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this, and again, maybe this is old news, but is CMC going to be used as a punt returner? Is this a rumor?
This is what, according to Matt Rule, they're thinking about using him as a punt returner. Again, why increase this guy's workload? I mean, have you ever heard of the saying, if you keep knocking on the devil's door, he's going to answer?
Yeah.
Well, if you keep knocking on injury's door, it's going to answer. All right, so you're using him already as a wideout. You're using him as running back now as a punt returner. I don't like this idea. Here's an idea. Hold on. Here's an idea. How about we get people that mirror his skill set and get them to do something? Don't that sound like a plan for me and you? Instead of working the guy to death. I don't like that. I do not like that, man. But hey, what do I know? I'm a guy with a cat head on his head.
You know your stuff, don't I? You're acting very humble. I appreciate it. Thanks for the update. Anything else we need to know, or I think we're up to date now?
We're pretty up to. Oh, one more side note. They said Derek Brown has been hard to block in practice, so that's a good sign as far as going ahead of the season.
Okay, no, good insight, man. I see some more ambassadors coming in, guys. Lots of great content coming your way. If you guys have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, we are on YouTube now. We're going to be going live on YouTube as well. That's starting next week. I'm excited. All the top YouTubers, we had to get on YouTube. I'm like, okay, I want to do, kind of go with the Twitch thing, but I'm like, we'll do Twitch and YouTube. So we're going to be on YouTube as well. Just look up FTFN on YouTube. A lot of great content for you right there. I'm getting breaking news as I go here. I don't know if Dan Mitchell, are you there? I've just heard Josh Allen. I get news as it breaks. Josh Allen not in training camp. What's going on? Please get us up to date, please. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, man. So right before I logged on to this live chat, I was satisfied that I had no bad news to report. And as you just said, it changed legitimately 5 minutes ago. So yes, Josh Allen is not present at Bills practice today. And along with a couple of other players, including Isaiah Hodgins, Christian Wade, and Harrison Phillips. most people know going around the NFL, there seemed to be a bit of a mix-up when it came to the COVID-19 testing. There's a lot of questions of whether or not that some of these were actually positives or whether or not the vast majority of them were false positives. I know that the Bears had a situation where it leaned more toward a false positive situation, but this is definitely difficult. This is definitely difficult, especially since Josh Allen, since he has taken the field with full pads, ready to go into it, he's been, unfortunately, pretty inconsistent. He's had some flashy plays, bombs down the field to Stephon Diggs, John Brown, but then the next couple of plays, he's throwing interceptions to Josh Norman or Micah Hyde. Now, granted, I do want to give him a little bit of a pass because he's going up against the Buffalo Bills defense, and it is only the first week of fully padded practice with an absence of having any type of OTAs or a preseason prior to that. But this is definitely a death blow to the Bills. We need Josh Allen out there taking as many possible reps when it comes to this offseason. And this is not good news for Bills fans. So let's just cross our fingers and hope that the NFL can get their shit together when it comes to this testing situation.
Now, I haven't been following the Bills much, but who is this backup for Josh Allen, and would he be a viable starter week in, week out?
Absolutely not.
At least you're honest.
Absolutely not. Yes. Say that Josh Allen, knock on wood, were to go down at all during the season would take a downturn for the worse. We have Matt Barkley as the backup, and then we have a Jake Fromm, who in my opinion might not even be making this team by the time the regular season starts off. So Josh Allen getting as many reps as possible is imperative for the Buffalo Bills' success going into week 1.
Anything else we need to know with Bills camp right now as of today, the 21st, or what is today? 23rd. I'm way off. A couple days off here. 23rd.
For sure. So, I mean, this week they've definitely dove head on first. Zach Moss has definitely been impressing. You know, the narrative surrounding this guy has always been he is going to provide the thunder for Devin Singletary's lightning.
Right.
But based off of what reporters are seeing, Zach Moss has a little bit of a lightning himself.
Right.
In fact, he has fantastic vision. He has the ability of getting off to the outside and making people miss. He's just a bigger, stronger Devin Singletary, so that might be something to watch for.
Yeah, I definitely like him, and that's why I completely stayed away from Singletary this year for fantasy perspective, completely. Josh Allen is bad. I'm just reading a couple comments here. Josh Allen is bad. Baller 1234 is saying they should have kept Nate Peterman. A couple other people in the comments saying
that's an absolute troll. All right. Let me go on ahead and put the Josh Allen haters to rest, and then I'll sign off and let everyone talk about it. Anyone that says, oh, Josh Allen, dude, he's so inaccurate.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting in the comments.
Don't understand that dude, man, was top 10 in the league for short to medium-sized passes. I could give a shit if Josh Allen never throws for 300 yards. You know what he does do? He wins. And whoever tells me wins are not a quarterback stat, bullshit. Wins are a quarterback stat, baby. And that's exactly it. Josh Allen is about to light up the league this year. You heard it here first on Fan to Fan Network.
Last thing, we got a guy here in the comments saying, what's his name? I can't even read it. Slavag24 says, how's Dig looking in camp? Want to get that quick update. Looking solid?
Yeah, exactly. So reporters are saying that he is as good as advertised. They say that he's picking up the playbook a lot faster than anticipated. But then again, I mean, once you put his pure ability to create separation and really be able to make plays that a lot of receivers can't, he's catching on very quickly. And I'm very excited to see Buffalo finally have a true wide receiver number 1 this year.
Well, thanks a lot, Dan. Appreciate those. You're up to date with the Buffalo Bills now. Let's move on here. Why don't we go to Broshmo? He covers a lot of teams for us. Broshmo, do you want to jump on here and tell us who you want to talk about and anything going on in training camp with the team that you're covering? He covers, again, a lot of teams. He looks after NFL draft content on fantofannetwork.com. So what's going on? Let's go, Broshmo. We got people in the comments rooting you on. Where are you and what's going on?
Well, I am currently in Atlanta. Not really, but Atlanta. I'm covering Atlanta today because word at camp is the defense is looking mighty spicy, looking very good. I'm a big big fan of Raheem Morris. We're talking about AJ Terrell was he played Julio Jones actually pretty good on a few snaps, which is good to hear. They're even talking up Isaiah Oliver, which take that for as coach talk. I don't think he's any good. But the player that's really been standing out there is Foye Oluokun. There's a name for you. But he's a third-year linebacker. He used to play safety at Yale. He's going to take over for Campbell, and he's been looking great. He's literally a coverage guy, so him and Deion Jones, I think, like, coverage-wise, this is going to be a much better team. It's good to hear that defensively they're going to be much better as well. I mean, a few other notes. I think, McKinley? He shedded some weight, so I guess that's good for him. He's going to be taking on that Vic Beasley role. I mean, he hasn't been really effective since his rookie season, so hopefully that does something. If anything, they brought in Dante Fowler, who's been looking pretty good. But it's good to hear that the defense is looking good, because Atlanta, we only hear offense. Julio Jones, Todd Gurley.
Yeah, what's going on with Gurley? Tell us what's going on with Gurley. Is that everyone keeps talking about that limp? Do you know anything more about that? I think he'd be fine, but what do you think?
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. They're just limiting him in practice or in camp. They're talking about putting him on a pitch count. I don't know how much of that's gonna be very accurate, because I mean, I fully expect him to get 15 to 20 touches every game. He's signed on for a year.
Yeah.
You don't want Gurley to come off the field and then you're handing it off to like a Brian Hill,
I know,
Quadre Olson. Like, they don't really have solid backs behind Gurley. So they signed him for a year. I think they're going to get their year's worth. That was kind of a problem with the Rams last season, is that they didn't really utilize Gurley early on enough. And I get it. They're worried about the knees.
Preservation.
Yeah, but they were much more successful near the year once they started letting him do his thing. So I think the Falcons are going to let it rip.
Yeah, I think so too. Anything else we need to know there?
No. Looks like no key injuries. It's
all right. Perfect.
Okay, here in Atlanta.
All right, let's move on here. We got other teams to cover here. Why don't we go with, how about let's talk to Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver, and there's a lot of disaster going on here with the Redskins. Why don't you jump on here, Ed, and give us an update with that. Actually, did I say Redskins? I meant football team.
Did.
Oh, I'm just and he's representing the Redskins in the background. They've got the old flag up there. So, man, why is your team such a disaster this year? What's going on? So much drama.
I wouldn't call it a disaster. But, I don't I don't want to offend anybody by the flag in the background, but hey, it is what it is. The football team. So I mean, we got some good things going. Bryce Love looked pretty good in practice. We still got the old man Adrian Peterson. Haskins had a good day in practice. Alex Smith is trying to play football again, so we'll see what happens with that. He's been walking around, trying to run around as much as he can. So I don't know if he's really going to play again. I mean, we'll see. He did practice yesterday, and he threw an interception, but he had some good passes here and there. Haskins had a good day today. This was his first good day. Chase Young had a hip flexor injury, but he's been looking pretty good. He's been throwing guys around. He's been looking like the Predator out there in training camp. I'm trying to think of some other surprises. But, yeah, I mean, we got the Darius Geis thing. It's just been thing after thing at each month, a name change, the Washington Post article. I mean, it's something every time. I mean, the good news, we hired the first black team president. He's 38 years old, so that's some good news. And we hired some woman to take over ever since the article came out. Joe Donaldson.
Well, I like that we're moving forward in the forms of equality for sure. And I think what's happened in 2019, even though it's been a shitty year, I think there's been some advancements in regards to certain things, and things are moving forward in a positive direction. But I want to ask you here quickly here, two things I'm looking at as a fantasy guy, and I think a lot of people in reality are curious. Is Alex Smith, I understand he had like 17 surgeries, and he had that septic, he almost died, bacteria, all that stuff. I read his story, I watched some YouTube videos on him. Do you think the confidence with him is going to be hindered a little bit due to the fact that he's had this injury? It brought him down, this whole traumatic experience. Will the confidence be up there? Do you think he can get back in that groove and shake off the rust?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I mean, you got guys falling around your leg. He's gonna remember that, J.J. Watt and the other guy, breaking his leg. I mean, it's hard for him not to remember that. So for him to go out there and even play is crazy in my opinion. It's something that we never thought. People say he's going to win comeback player of the year even if he takes one football snap. So I don't see him starting, but I think he is going to be on the roster this year. I think he is going to play.
I mean, the talent is there. The efficiency is there. You're going to get those short 10-yard passes all day long.
Yeah.
He's really efficient. I like Alex Smith. He seems like a good guy, too. And then also, I met Bryce Love. I was at the draft last year. And I met Bryce Love. I met his parents, actually, and they're walking around because I do this like meet and greet with these rookies that come in and stuff like that. So I met him, and basically I talked to his dad and his agent. I'm like, can I talk to Bryce? And his agent's like, eh. And then he's like, bring him over. And I came over, did a photo video with him. Super nice guy, super humble. His dad seemed like one of those dads that like really cared about his son, kind of like, hey man, my son's getting in, and it's just really, really nice family. So I want to ask you though, from a skill, he looked good in college. Do you think this guy starts this season? Is anyone else, Gibson, going to come in? Is anyone else potentially going to steal some reps from him, or could this guy be something really special with the Redskins? And I hope so, because he's, again, nice guy.
Yeah, Ron Rivera loves him. He's already talked about him being explosive and breaking big runs. He's already had a big run today in training camp from what I've heard. But I think he's going to go with Adrian Peterson. He loves the veterans. AP's earned the respect. AP's going to the Hall of Fame. So I think AP's going to start. And then eventually Bryce Love will probably take the starting job, maybe like week 7, week 8, I would think.
Okay.
And then Gibson is a fantasy sleeper because he can catch out of the backfield. So he's going to be doing everything like jet sweeps, throwing out of the backfield, everything. So Gibson is going to be that secret weapon for the Washington football team.
You guys are a disaster for fantasy. I'm staying away. I do like McLaurin. Now McLaurin is.
Yeah, I was gonna say McLaurin.
I love him, McLaurin. I love the I love the talent. I think he's gonna get the volume. Is he gonna get the volume? You think? Do you see 150 targets going his way this season?
Yeah. Haskins, they both went to Ohio State, so I mean they play with each other, so they have the chemistry there. Towards the end of the year, he was throwing the ball to McLaurin. McLaurin's gonna get open. We play the Eagles week 1, and Darius Slay's been getting cooked in practice, so I love that. So that's going to be his week 1 matchup. So I'm if you're doing fantasy, pick McLaurin against the Eagles. He's going to go for about 150 yards week 1.
Wow.
Probably a touchdown too.
Wow, there you go. That's why you guys got to make sure you're subscribed here and get us on YouTube channel. Now, Ed, how do they find you on YouTube? Anyway, listen, go to FanToFanNetwork.com. Forget it, Ed. Go to FanToFanNetwork.com. Go under Washington, and you got all of Ed's content all in one spot. Amazing, guys. This is why I love this, because you're getting real advice from real people that live and breathe this. Anything else we need to know with the football team? Nothing much?
Nothing much. They just released the Washington football gear. So if you do want to get some gear, it's online now.
All right, perfect. There you go. Very, very true patriot of the football. Very original, by the way. I like it. I want to see if there's anything in the comments that could be good here. There's a bunch of stuff going in the comments. Everyone keeps talking about Carolina and the hat of Big Cat. You need some cool hats like Big Cat. I need some hats like Big Cat. So, Big Cat, where are you? Can you show us your hat again? Thanks, Ed. I appreciate it. You know what we should do? We should do like in the middle of the show, you should come in with like a new hat like every 15 minutes, and we'll just pan over to you and come back. Do you have enough hats to do that? Probably not.
No, not just yet, but I like the ones I do got.
You got to up the inventory.
I might sign up for one of the Fan to Fan Network. If we get enough subscribers today, enough followers today, my son want to give you one. I see here people in the comments yelling Big Cat, Big Cat. You say you have a hardcore fan base, Big Cat. Yeah, appreciate it.
Pause up. How does pause up work?
That's right.
Does it work like this? Do you got to do this?
Yeah, you gotta twist the fingers a little bit.
I'm getting in the groove.
And listen, you gotta add 3 A's to it. Pause.
Pause up.
Yeah.
I got it. First shot. I got it on the first.
There you go.
All right, I got it. First shot. I don't have the aggression, but I got to work on it. All right, so let's move on here. Who else do we got? How about those Lions? We're talking about pause. I think we should get into some Lions, man. Let's go here. Dosa Dion, a.k.a. Pat Mahomes, a lookalike. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Glad to be here.
Let's go, man. A couple minutes with you. Then we got to get Miami on because he's got a family event. We got to get Dougley Durong. Doug, we're going to get you on in a minute here. We just got to cover Detroit, and then we're going to get on to Dougley because he's got a family event. So let's go here with Dosa Dion. What's going on, man? What's going on with the Lions?
Yeah, so we actually got some news this morning. The Lions released their guard, Caleb Benach, and they signed Will Clark. They lost Jayshon Cornell early in the week. He was placed on IR, so they had to get another defensive end to step in there. And then for training camp, some of the young guys are playing well, but the participation report has been kind of rough. We've seen a lot of injuries. That kind of took over last year as well. Swift is down with an injury. Don't know how serious it is. It's an upper leg injury, so
it's not good.
It's not going to be too bad. Yeah, Jeffrey Okudah also went down with an injury during practice, so that took him out for the rest of the day after coming off an interception from Stafford. So the injury list has been piling up, which is unfortunate, but we've seen a lot of guys step up. You've seen Nimani step up from last year into that role, and he looks like he could be a starter this year, even though it wasn't really expected because Desmond Trufant, the other cornerback, he is also dealing with injuries, has been participating in team drills. So injuries have been piling up for us. But we've seen a lot of guys step up, which is great. We got Jamal Agnew going to offense. He's been doing well. So, a lot of guys that you're hoping would step into a role is great. So you're getting opportunities now. And I think the Lions are just playing everything kind of cautious.
Yeah, man. Now, I'm, as a fan, because I just did a story mode on my Instagram telling people to come on to Twitch. So we got a lot of fantasy people on here. We saw an uptick in the numbers of people in the stream chat after I did the story mode. Hopefully you guys can promote it too. Again, people just kind of like not in football mode 100% now as we're making the transition. But this is going to be the number one streamed news channel on Twitch. I'm telling you guys right now, I say that with absolute certainty because as you guys can see, the talent here is second to none. And I'm not just trying to promote everybody on Fan to Fan. I genuinely mean this in my heart of hearts. There's a lot of passion with you guys here. But again, back to fantasy here. I love, I'm infatuated, whatever you want to call it. And I just hate the lack of disrespect to Kenny Golladay. This guy's elite talent. I know you guys aren't the popular team. You're not the Cowboys. You're not the Patriots. You're not, but I think Golladay has a phenomenal season. I see 14 touchdowns. I see 1,400 yards. If healthy, him and Stafford. Could this be realistic? 14-14. Could that be possible for Golladay this year? Please let me know. Honestly, not biased.
Yeah, honestly, again, I wouldn't be surprised if you put up big numbers like that. I know on one of your posts on Instagram, we were kind of talking about that. You said he was the second best wide receiver in the NFL.
Love him.
But yeah, Kenny Golladay, man, it's going to be exciting to see what he can do. Matthew Stafford's getting back to kind of the old ways when Kelvin used to be there with the yards per attempt.
Yeah.
Darrell Bevel wants to get him more involved. And we know he put up great numbers last year. He's on a contract year, led the league in touchdowns. If you get a healthy Stafford for the full year, I don't know if we're saying 1,414 touchdowns, but I wouldn't be surprised if he even improved from last year.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at a floor of 10 touchdowns and 1,100 yards. That's a floor. And I think the ceiling could be 14-14. What's your favorite team, Joseph? Baller1234. I'm a Colts fan. What's up, Colts? Can I get you on for a second? Colts Nation. What's going on? Where's Colts?
Yes, sir.
Colts.
Let's go.
Let's go, Colts. By the way, I want to get back. I'm going to get to Doug in 1 second here. But Jonathan Taylor, there's a chance, I believe, with certainty, if he gets a starting job earlier than we all think, can be rookie of the year. I'm telling you, this guy is elite talent. Don't you guys agree?
Oh, yeah. Jonathan Taylor, man. I mean, I looked at him when he's like 5'10", almost 230 pounds, and he runs a 4.39 40. But this guy is unstoppable.
I love him.
I am so pumped to see him, man. Like, holy crap. Like,
holy cow. Yeah, this guy really is something special. He's built different than a lot of other running backs out there. We say that a lot with a couple different running backs that come in. And when you say that and you get the opportunity, if he rides the hot hand like they say he can, then, I mean, there's no question he has a chance. He's going to have to get around 1,300 yards to do so, but we know how that turned out for Josh Jacobs last year. Let's just hope that it's a better result for Jonathan Taylor.
One of the things with this channel is about keeping it real, and I don't think one of the mainstream analysts are going to say what I'm about to say, but Marlon Mack is just not that fucking good. He's not. Like, he's good. Like, he can get the job done. Like, I could go and, I can go be a doctor. I can put on a lab suit, but when I get in there, I'm just not going to be able to diagnose you properly. I know it's a terrible analogy, but the point I'm trying to make is I think it's more of a respect thing. Hey, Marlon Mack's our starter. Out of respect. We're not going to say, fuck you, Marlon Mack. Jonathan Taylor's better. When they say hot hand, that's a nice way of saying, fuck you, Marlon Mack. You suck. Jonathan Taylor is better. And I'm being straight up. That's how I think because I speak the truth. Do you agree? Like, it's just, that's what hot hand means. It's a nice way of saying, you're fucked, Marlon Mack. We like Taylor better, or else we wouldn't have even drafted you. That's how I feel.
I don't view it as Marlon Mack sucking. I mean, the Colts have this insane philosophy of wanting to just completely keep adding new pieces to a group where they want to be able to utilize more than anyone else does in the NFL, and that's running the football. You can never have enough pieces. We never say that about the wide receivers. We never say that about other positions.
Right.
But Marlon Mack, forget the respect thing. And I understand Jonathan Taylor at some point can be better. And a lot of people think he can. Last season had 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, missed 2 games with a broken hand, came back and still ran the hell out of the ball. He made the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans defense look like absolute shit last year. Okay. He was spinning around. He was stiff arming dudes into the ground like they're just butter coming off a knife. It's like unbelievable how this guy is able to just make plays. I get that he may not be the most explosive running back out there. I get that. But 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns does not equate to a running back that sucks, even behind a great offense.
You stick up for him. Taylor's going to take that job. I see somebody in the comments. I'm going to lay a smackdown. We got it. Speaking of sucks, we got to go to the Dolphins in a second here. But I got to go. The Broncos fanatic says Colts are going to go 8-8. Fuck you, Broncos fanatic.
Yeah, the stupid 8-8. Where is that coming from? What? How? What? 8-8? We added one of the best defensive tackles in football, an upgrade at running back and quarterback. You got all your guys coming back on defense. I don't get 8-8. Whatever. I don't get it.
And Joe, to kind of talk about Marlon Mack, if he played all 16 games, he would have been top 5 in the league in rushing. So
you're right.
Not equate.
I know I'm being a little harsh here, but he's still.
But like I agree though. That's the thing. Marlon Mack has not played a 16-game season since he's been drafted, and that's a big reason why I think. And Derek and I have talked about it. These guys are going to help each other stay healthier as the season goes along, right?
All right. This baller guy talking smack. He says Phillip Rivers 8-8, and Vasorowski's going 10. Okay, let's move on here. We got to go to speaking of suck. Where are you? Dougley Duron, get on here. I know you've got a family event. Look at this. This is dedication. Taking time from his family to be here. Where are you, Doug?
I'm right here, bud. I'm right here.
Okay, so you know what? What's going on with the Dolphins? When is Tua taking over? That's the question. I don't care about Fitz whatever his name is.
Well, you might want to start caring about Fitzpatrick because Fitzpatrick wasn't at practice on Friday, and all of a sudden Tua and Rosen get runs with the 1 and 2s, and it wasn't a good day. Tua throws 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Rosen throws 1 interception, 1 touchdown. It wasn't a great day for the quarterbacks on Friday. Fitz comes back yesterday and lights it up. He runs a touchdown in on his own. He throws a 65-yard bomb touchdown to Preston Williams, and all of a sudden everyone's like, Fitz. But I will say this. We see what Tua has. We see the physicality, the smarts, all that stuff. He's just got to get a grasp on Chan Gailey's offense, and the kid is going to be dangerous. So I still stick with what I said with the premiere video. I say about week 8, you're going to see Tua. Tua's going to come in and do his thing. Because, yes, Fitz, he's a journeyman. There's a reason he's still in the league after 15 years. He's not bad. He's not great. He's just Fitz. But I will say that, at some point that arm is going to get dead after 15 years, and you will see Tua come back in week 8.
We've got a chef in the house, Chef Thomas. Apparently that's what his screen name is saying. In captions, Dolphins suck. What do you got to say about that?
We'll see about that.
Oh, hold on. We got another one. We got a viral guy here. What's his name here? His name is Viral Rookies. He says Dolphins suck so much they're going 0-16, garbage. They're overrated. Pats are going to beat them twice this year. Watch.
Okay, I'll respond to that one, because that one always makes me laugh with the Patriot fans. I got a question for that guy. So week 17, the New England Patriots needed their first round bye. Miami comes up there, and Joe, it's just running out of my head. What happened in that game? Did the Dolphins win? And then the Patriots had to go to, face Tennessee, and then all of a sudden someone knocked them out?
I don't know, man. It seems like the fan majority here is against you. You're outnumbered strongly. Another guy named, Mal704 says they ain't winning shit. We got a presidential request here. Nature Boy Tommy Walker saying Big Cat for president. Big Cat, where are you? Can we just Big Cat for president? I think. Hey, listen. Where are you for a second? Just for 1 second. I don't see it coming up, but it's okay. We got Doug up. I think his screen has kind of come up. Doug, when we finish with you, we'll go back to Big Cat for a quick snapshot. We want him. I'm voting for him for president. Who else is in?
I am too. I'm a big cat. Yes, sir.
Pause up.
Well, if you vote for me for president, I promise I'll make drinking on every TV show legal. How about that?
There we go. There we go.
Real quick, I'll take time to say I need that sponsorship and Bud Light.
All right, let's do it. Pause up. All right, back to Doug here. We'll wrap it up because he's got a big family event that I wasn't invited to. So, Doug, any last words on your Dolphins? Preston Williams or Parker? Who's going to be the one there?
I'm saying this. Watch these two be a 1-2 dynamic that is going to be hard for a lot of secondaries. I am thoroughly happy with a bunch of people underestimating the Dolphins and thinking they're going to go 4-11, thinking they're going to do worse than they did last year, even though they added more talent. Good, because last year, the Eagles, no offense, the Colts and the Patriots underestimated those Dolphins, and they came in and they did their thing. I honestly think with Preston Williams, Devontae Parker, Preston Williams has been showing that ACL injury is a thing of the past and lighting it up all camp. I honestly think that's going to be a 1-2 punch that these secondary people, they're going to have to decide who are we going to double team. And then if you double team them both, you got Gesicki running up the middle, who's another deep red zone target threat. Top 5 in the league last year in targets the second half of the season for Gesicki. So, yeah, underestimate my Dolphins because I'm going to be sitting here laughing. When we got
you got some weapons. I think you need some work in the running game. I'm not sold. Who's it? Was it Howard starting?
You got Howard, you got Breida, you got Gaskins. I'm hearing good things from Breida and Gaskins with their speed. I'm not hearing much from Howard in camp, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Yeah, the running game, it needs to step up a little bit.
All right. Well, thanks, Doug. Anything else you want? By the way, nice background. This is your new setup now, right?
This is the new house, the new studio.
I like it.
Setup. I got a big gap here that needs to be filled, and we'll put some stuff here, but that's what my big fat head is for.
Well, yeah, I mean, you won't really see that area for most of your blogs, but it looks really, really good. I like the green uplighting there on the right. So now you just need a team that wins, and then you're all set. That's it. That's all you need. All right, let's move on here. We gotta move on here. Let's see, who have we not talked to yet? Why don't we talk about our Texans? Then we got Raiders queued up and we got Steelers. I'm keeping everybody in the queue here. So let's go to, who did I just say? Texans. Where are you, Texans? Ruben.
What's going on?
Ruben, listen, we're all excited. This is going to get me excited. I feel like a kid at Christmas. You guys are the primetime first game back after all this BS that's happened in the offseason with this disease and all this stuff. And then we get to see my guy, my buddy, who's blocked me officially on Instagram right now, but he was my buddy, David Johnson and Pat Mahomes, a primetime game. What's going on with that game? Are you guys going to win it or what's happening?
My hat was losing that game, but if I'm being completely honest, if it's 38-35, even if the Houston Texans, go toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm going to be super excited because, the whole narrative is that the Houston Texans offense is going to be absolutely horrible with the departure of DeAndre Hopkins. I myself do not see that happening, but if you can hang with them, that's really good. Speaking of David Johnson, O'Brien called him the most in shape at training camp.
Nice.
People are raving about him, that his jump cut looks filthy. His speed looks better.
Pause up.
Pause up. Snagging on players. So, we're excited about the things that David Johnson can bring. We are resting like our veterans. We're keeping JJ Watt on a snap count, and how could you not? Dude cannot just stay healthy. So that's what we want to. Rookie Ross Blacklock, John Harris from Texas said that he basically looks like Aaron Donald out there. We'll wait and see how that comes up. But this whole, no major injuries. We're resting a bunch of people. So it's just very exciting. I'm actually, this is the most excited I've been for a Texan season in a while.
I'm excited about your offense. Okay, let's just lay it out here. Like, if you think about it logically, the Chiefs aren't that much better than the Texans. Yeah, Watson's good. Don't underestimate him. Okay, Mahomes gets an edge, but Watson's still a good quarterback. Then you got David Johnson and Allaire. Allaire's a rookie. David Johnson's hungry. I give the edge at running game for the Texans there. And then wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, obviously he's elite talent, but don't underestimate Cooks. I think Cooks is still a great receiver. So, the slight edge to the Chiefs, but don't count out the Texans, man. Now, defensively, what do you think? Do the Texans hold up defensively in this matchup?
No, we lose DJ Reader to the Bengals, and according to what they're saying, DJ Reader's like an absolute monster. So we are relying on a bunch of rookies to really, help this defense evolve. Ross Blacklock, Jonathan Greenard, John Reed. So we are going to be relying on a bunch of, rookies to help this defense get better. Also, a first-year defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver, who says, that he has the pass rushers, but he just has to put them in the right situation to succeed. He says he wants to get exotic, so be expecting corner blitzes, safety blitzes. Just be expecting something different from this Houston Texans defense. Defense does scare me a little bit, but this offense, I'm over ecstatic for this offense.
All right, now I'm not on the phone. I'm not having a social chat here. I'm actually reading your comments on my phone. So I got some comments for you. Alpha Soup says he has the Texans going 6-10. What do you got to say about that?
I don't see it. Watson's talent alone gets you 6 wins. Watson is an elite type of quarterback. He's just gonna get better as he gets forward into the league. I don't see the Houston Texans going 6-10. They're gonna have a winning season. Not worried about the other divisions except for maybe the Colts. But I'm just excited for Watson. I had this team going 10-6 or 11-5.
Nice.
If healthy.
So people saying the Jags a lot of people saying that you're going to have trouble with the Jags this season. I don't know about that.
I don't believe in the points dash.
Steve Goldman in the comments saying, good luck beating the Jags, Texans guy.
No. Jags are trash.
The dumbest, Chef Thomas back trash talking again. This Chef Thomas has a lot to say. The dumbest team ever, the Houston Texans in capital.
Well, if you look at the whole trade for DeAndre Hopkins, it was dumb. If you look at what the Bills got for this, what the Vikings got for Stephon Diggs, they got a buttload of draft picks. Nobody offered a first-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
So that it's like at one point, it's very frustrating with O'Brien. I'm sorry. It really is. But we're just going to have to roll what it is now. I'm super excited. But the one thing that I'm excited about that not a lot of people are talking about is the offensive line for the Houston Texans, which will be absolutely surprise people. I know Derek Logger is shaking his head no. But look, you get in Lermy Tunzel, who didn't have a full offseason with the Houston Texans, only allowed 3 sacks on the season. You had left guard Max Sharpen, who absolutely played fantastic. Nick Morgan,
hold on, JT, hold on. We got to get through every team. 30 seconds. I want Derek and JT to just chime in on this. Why you should just start with JT? Why are you shaking your head, JT? Please.
Texans fans say this every year, man. It's like Seattle. Like Seattle says the offensive line is improved, and then we see Russell Wilson running for his life. So look, you're in division with Tennessee and Indianapolis, man. Houston, I don't see them winning that many games, 7-9, man.
This is the first time in 5 years, all starters are coming back on the offensive line. 2 years ago, Watson was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Last year, the offensive line cut that sack number by 15. And then you still had a rookie Titus Howard who played awesome, who got out. You're shaking your head, but that's just a fact, guy.
All right, let the trash talking begin. All right, we got to move quickly here, Derek.
GT,
I got to go to Derek real quick. Derek, why were you? Obviously, you're a division rival here, but why are you shaking your head here so much?
Look, you could add Quentin Nelson to that offensive line. That offensive line ain't being top 10. I'm just saying right now, okay? Look, I agree with you that their offensive line is going to improve. Like you said, all the guys are coming back. They are going to improve. No question about that. But the issue you have is you were ranked 29th in offensive line last year, overall production. Deshaun is getting sacked so many times. He's getting the Andrew Luck treatment. I get the Laramie Tunzel part. That's the only really guy on there that I would trust on an offensive line right now. Just to go from one of the worst to top 10 like that, I just don't see it. It doesn't happen very often. The Colts kind of had that happen when they got Quentin Nelson and they added Braden Smith. But I just don't see that same thing happening with the Texans. They'll get better, but they're not top 10.
So, I agree with you. It's going to be very hard. But when the 5 starters were in the game for the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson in 5 games only sacked 8 times. The Houston Texans went 4-1. Like I said, with this whole Texas narrative is just a matter of if they can stay healthy. A lot of the sacks also last year were due to Deshaun Watson staring down DeAndre Hopkins. 8 sacks were credited to just staring at Nuke. A lot of them were just staring on, the scheme not being well put together. So, Bill O'Brien does have a part in that scheme. Now he does it. Now he's handing the play calls over to Tim Kelly, who a lot of people are raving about Tim Kelly. Former players who played for Tim Kelly said this dude is going to bring something dynamic to this offense. So the fact that O'Brien delegated that power to Tim Kelly is what gets me excited for this offense. If O'Brien himself still had a hand in this, I wouldn't be excited whatsoever. The fact that you have players excited, you have Deshaun Watson saying, I meet with Tim Kelly almost every single day, and he didn't meet with Bill O'Brien last season. So
all right, thank you, man. We got to move on here to Chiseled Adonis. Where's Chiseled Adonis? Is he there? Chiseled. What is going on, man? We got to get you on.
Oh, can you hear me now?
We're talking Steelers, man. What's going on?
Oh, man, I'm happy to be here, man. We've got some big standouts from training camp. We got about 9 names of people just making their presence felt. First and foremost, you got Chase Claypool making sensational catches. This guy's contorting his body on the sideline, finding his way into the end zone. And he caught a touchdown on Joe Hayden a few days back. Yeah, and Joe Hayden had 5 picks last year. If I'm not mistaken, he was tied with about 4 people for second in the league. So Chase is already making plays. TJ Watt looks like he's in mid-season form already. He had about 3 tackles for loss in the very first, scrimmage between the offense and defense. So he's getting behind that offensive line with ease. So he's playing well. Eric Ebron found his hands. He was out here making great contested catches. This guy had hands just for decoration when he was in Detroit. He was completely inconsistent last year when in Indianapolis, but he's making plays, and the coaches have nothing but praise for him. So he's showing up. Anthony McFarland's hitting holes very hard, and he's looking like he's going to be kind of like what a Chester Taylor was back for the Vikings in the late 2000s, where he was able to go and catch balls out of the backfield. So I'm kind of excited for him. I don't think he's going to be the backup running back, but he's most likely going to be that number 3 slot that he's going to be there. Big Ben, he's looking very well, although he did look overweight with his beard and everything going on in his face, but he looks mobile. He was able to evade TJ Watt and throw a touchdown to Ryan Switzer in the end zone during the 2-minute drill, and he's arm is looking as strong as ever for the most part. So as long as he stays away from internet porn and masturbation, I think we'll be all right. And then Devin Bush picked off Big Ben in the end zone. That was, I think, one of the 2 interceptions that Ben might have thrown during the course of training camp thus far. But Devin Bush is looking like he's shot out of a rocket. This guy is sideline to sideline, making tackles in the backfield, reading screen passes before they even develop. So it seems as if he's extremely disciplined within the first 2 years of his career. Benny Snell is looking very good. I think he's going to be the solidified number 2 back behind James Conner. So if Conner ever does go down, his body's built like glass. I can hope he can play the entire season. But if he's not able to be there, I have confidence that Benny Snell will be able to step right in. And then a surprise name out of training camp is Ulysses Gilbert. This guy is running sideline to sideline out of nowhere. I had no clue who this guy was, but he's making tackles all over the place, and the guy got good awareness. So those are 9 players who are getting it done. And last but not least, some feel-good news. Ryan Shazier was seen boxing yesterday. So he's training and moving. And if you remember, it was just a little bit under 3 years ago where he had the spinal injury. Right. And here he is walking under his own power, and he's training. I don't know if he'll ever play football again. It's highly doubtful, but just seeing him be able to, break through all of that pain and continue to have that perseverance to move forward, it's very inspirational.
That is inspirational. Phenomenal. Good news to hear, and I like to feel good news. Last thing, Deontay Johnson, is he the real deal this year? And are Juju's days outnumbered here with Claypool and Deontay there?
I wouldn't say Juju's days are numbered, because Juju most likely will move to that slot position, and Deontay Johnson kind of will be that Antonio Brown somewhat in how they're going to utilize him. So he can be all over the field. I'll say Deontay Johnson's the real deal. I expect him to have about at least 900 yards. I expect over 1,000, but I think the floor is about 900. But I'm excited for Pittsburgh's receivers.
I think you're being conservative there. I think this guy's sky's the limit. I love Deontay. I love him. I don't know what it is. I just feel this guy's going to go off this year. One of those.
And you can't forget about what he can do for you on special teams. This guy's able to take punts for touchdowns. I believe it was last year against Arizona. He took one back to the house. And last but not least, there's another guy on the wide receiver pool that I think we're missing is Ryan Switzer. Now, granted, he did a whole lot of nothing last year, but he's primed to come back. And he made a proclamation. He said he's going to be the best slot receiver in the league. Do I think it's possible? Probably not. But hey, he's aiming high, so I expect to see him go out there and make plays. He was running with the first team offense during the 2-minute drill, so who knows how Tomlin plans to plug him into that offense if he's going to be running with the ones. But whatever the case may be, when Big Ben goes and starts to improvise, I expect to see the ball find its way to Ryan Switzer.
I saw a picture of Ryan Switzer posing like this. That's the only thing he's done in the past however long he's been on the Steelers. So I don't.
It's a whole lot of flexing, not too much production. I'm hoping it can flip this year.
More bark than bite. Thanks, Chisel. I appreciate it. Let's move on. We got a couple more teams here, and then we're going to wrap this up. So let's go to we got the Raiders and the Cardinals, I believe, unless I missed somebody else. So let's go to the Cardinals. You've been here for a very long time, waiting in the ranks here. What is going on, AZ Sports fan? Let's talk Cardinals. What's going on?
What's up, Joe? How you doing, man? Things really good here. Super, super hot here in Phoenix. Biggest news from training camp is actually there's two stories. One of them being that DeAndre Hopkins was gone for a little bit, and he had like a hamstring issue. But they had this whole big narrative saying that DeAndre Hopkins was trying to hold out because he's looking for a contract. He automatically debunked that. So I'm not even going to say even talk anything like that. Nuke is going to be there. He's happy. I think a contract is in play later on in the future, but we're good with that. The biggest news that came out of training camp is Robert Alford, our cornerback opposite side of Patrick Peterson, is gone. He's hurt for the entire year, 2 straight years in a row. It's really unfortunate, but we're seeing a lot more Arizona Cardinals signings coming on. So we had Ken Crawley, BW Webb, and I think they are working out Drake Kirkpatrick currently at the moment. But I mean, that's kind of the biggest news right now. We're in need of a cornerback. Another DB opposite side of Patrick Peterson. And I'm not even sure if Byron Murphy, our 2nd-round pick last year, is going to be, up for the challenge. He might be, but I see him more as a slot type cornerback.
Any fantasy news that you want to get us up to date on? How's Kenny and Drake looking? Kenny and Drake, actually, latest news with Kenny and Drake came out and said it was a smiley face he made. He said, this is the face when, it was a smiley face when I take everybody to the fantasy championships. How good is he feeling in camp?
I think he's doing really well. I mean, there's a lot of glowing things about Kenyon Drake. Of course, Cliff Kingsbury is going to say everything he possibly can about the other running backs, and rightfully so. I think Chase Edmonds is a really dominant number 2 running back. I don't think he's going to take too much. Okay, he might take some of his workload from Kenyon Drake just to make sure that Kenyon Drake doesn't get hurt and we remain having our awesome running backs. But Kenyon Drake is going to be doing great in fantasy. So if you can, I know you're really against it, but I do think Kenyon Drake's going to have a really good fantasy year.
Did Eno Benjamin make the team?
Currently, right now, he hasn't got cut.
Okay,
they're
that's
saying good
good
things about him. I think he's going to be the 3rd running back.
Okay. Any chances he that good to get the start? You never know, right?
No, I don't think he's going to get the start. I see Eno
Eventually
Benjamin more of maybe next year if they don't decide to sign on Kenyon Drake, because right now he's on a 1-year deal. It's kind of like a prove it deal. So we're not sure if they're going to spend a lot of money, especially with the whole David Johnson thing. We're kind of feeling that. So I think the Cardinals are kind of scared to pull that trigger and sign another running back to that long-term deal.
All right, let's move on here. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it. Let's move on to our Raiders guy because I got a lot of Josh Jacobs stock. What's going on in Raider Town? Darren, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on? What's going on? Thanks for having me on. In Raiders news, we do have some running back news there that we did end up releasing Theo. William Stanback, and we end up signing Theo Riddick to come into training camp. That's something new there. And then we see Isaiah Johnson, our former draft pick last year that was injured most of the time, going up against Henry Ruggs. And that battle is keep going back and forth each time in training camp as well. Brian Edwards is still the top guy right now, top wide receiver right now with the wide receiver core and Tyrell Williams. They neck and neck, and then it's Henry Ruggs. But the surprise guy for me on defense is Malik Collins. Now, Malik Collins came over for the Dallas Cowboys this past year, and Rob Marinelli is a defensive line coach, and they say he's been the most impressive defensive lineman outside of Cleveland Farrell and Max Crosby. So that is a good take. But as far as injuries goes, there's no injuries on the Raiders whatsoever besides that little leg injury by Henry Ruggs, but Henry Ruggs is still out there practicing as well. But there's no injuries for both sides of the ball. But who else been impressive is what's his name? Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs just been dominating the whole game. We all know what Josh Jacobs can do, but the guy's just been doing his thing. And if you have some questions for Josh Jacobs, the guy's just been killing it in training camp. He's just been dominating in training camp. And last but not least, we all know this was going to happen, that Marcus Mariota is struggling with accuracy, knowing that he's been struggling with accuracy as a quarterback, even when he's with the Tennessee Titans. So with that being said, I think Marcus Mariota will be fine. But other than that, it's not really much coming out of the Raiders most of that time.
All right. Is Derek Carr going to pull his head out of his ass and do something this year?
Absolutely. The guy was already near 70% completion percentage last year with 4,000 passing yards and with an injured Tyrell Williams and a little behind Hunter Renfrow. Mind you, Hunter Renfrow could be one of the top slot receivers in the league. They call him third and Renfrow they don't call him that for no reason. He's called third and Renfrow for a reason. So Derek Carr would definitely be better than he was last year. I mean, he didn't have double-digit interceptions. He only had about 5 or 6 interceptions, and he only had about like 12 touchdowns. But I think that touchdown will go up this year, knowing that the weapons that we have with Waller, and then we have Jason Witten to come over and help out with that tight end position, and other wide receivers and other running backs like Jalen Richard and Lynn Bowden Jr. is going to give him a lot of options to get in the end zone and get more yards on the football field.
All right, well, thanks for the Raiders update. We appreciate it. Someone asking if Hunter Renfrow is still in college.
Absolutely not. We all know he's third at Renfrow for a reason. You know, that's one of the most reliable receivers that Derek Carr had last year. So, yeah, third at Renfrow. That's what we call him.
Third and Renfrow. Okay, I think we've got everybody for today who's been on. Did we talk to Titans? We didn't talk to you yet, did we? Titan upload. We'll end it off with the Titans here and my guy, Derrick Henry. What's going on? Mark, talk about Derrick Henry.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Good to be here.
Sorry, I almost forgot about one of the most important teams in fantasy when he caught Derrick Henry and Tannehill.
Yeah, well, nationally, we're not one of the most important teams, obviously, but that's okay. Derrick Henry, obviously he's the team, and Tannehill's going to be a big part of that. But Arthur Smith, I mean, he's the offensive coordinator for the Titans. He's kind of putting it out there. We're going to throw the ball more this year.
Right.
So when you got A.J. Brown, you might want to look into that a little bit. So in Tennessee, I still think they're running the ball. But, I mean, we got a lot of drama now. I don't know if you heard what happened to the first-round right tackle.
No, tell me.
Picked 29th from Georgia. Supposedly August 15th, Paul Kaharski just came out with a story. He's a local media guy. And apparently a couple Titans were at a party at Tennessee State University. Cops showed up. The 6'7", 350-pounder tried jumping off the second floor balcony, whatever. He attempted to. He didn't actually go through with it, thankfully. But with this whole COVID thing going on, I present the question to all of you guys, like, is this a big deal or is he just a young guy enjoying a party? That seems to be the 50-50 split down in Nashville, what's going on. So I don't know, but a lot of people are getting on PK for sharing the story because it's a negative thing about the Titans, but that's what they do. You share stories. So
anything else aside from that in training camp that we need to be aware of in regards to ability, talent, or what's going on with Henry, Tannehill, connection with Brown and Tannehill? Is that looking good?
Yeah, I think those two are going to be fine. One person to keep an eye on is, and I'm very high on him, maybe just because he was on the show, Mason Kinsey, undrafted receiver out of Berry College. I mean, the guy's blazing fast. And there's been a lot of cuts that have happened recently down in Nashville, including the 7th rounder, Cole McDonald, who we thought possibly could be a backup quarterback. They've already got rid of him, brought in Trevor Siemian. So you would think the Titans are somewhat interested in this guy from Berry College. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on. I don't know. Can he play at the big boys? I know he's got the heart and he's got the speed. So I think anything's possible. I do want to say one thing real quick, because I think it's interesting. There's some breaking news out of Nashville that maybe the Tennessee Titans are going to make a play for Earl Thomas to play fullback behind Derrick Henry. So I just want to throw that out there. If any of you watch that playoff game, you know what I mean. When Henry turned Earl Thomas around and used him as a lead blocker plowing down the field.
Yes.
So that's just a joke.
Interesting.
Did get it.
All right.
I got a question for Big Cat.
Where's Big Cat?
Golden. I think it's Golden. 3rd round pick, 2018. I went to look him up on YouTube. We're bringing him in on Tuesday. The only thing that shows up is Big Cat, his breakdowns on him. Is this a guy the Titans should be high on, bringing him in 3rd round pick? Does he have a chance making the team, Big Cat? What do you think on him?
What are y'all going to use him at?
Safety, I believe.
No, man.
He'll probably be a special teamer. I mean, we still have, I think, Vaccaro, Byard, the 2 best safeties in the league, I think. But I think there's some play there. Maybe you could use him in third down situation, specialist, something like that.
I don't want to trash the guy. Good guy. Actually spoke with some of his family members, but he's not necessarily the best cover safety. He's physical at the point of attack. He can dislodge a ball, but he's a liability in coverage. So, if you're looking for somebody to come up and lay the wood, he definitely can do that. But again, he has heavy feet for a safety. Struggles to get over top in coverage. It is what it is.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Joe. That's all I got.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Sunday AM League Roundup. Did I miss anybody?
The Rams.
Oh, I thought I got the Rams. Oh, my bad. We talked earlier. How could I forget the Rams? What's going on?
Anyone forget the Rams?
There we go. All right, let's talk about the Rams. I thought we had you. Maybe we talked at the beginning of the show. My mind went out. Okay, what's going on, Rams?
Well, thanks, Joe. So yesterday, the Rams had their first scrimmage, which is like the default preseason game at SoFi Stadium. Offense was wearing the bone uniforms. Defense was wearing the all blue, looking really sharp. So let's get to the running backs. Malcolm Brown started getting reps because he's the veteran. That's just kind of what you do. Then Darrell Henderson came in and got injured. He left the game.
Who got injured? Darrell Henderson?
Darrell Henderson.
When this happened? This is huge for fantasy because Cam Akers is going to take that job right away.
Yeah, so yesterday, Saturday, they had a scrimmage, and Henderson went off the field in the first half with a soft tissue injury. So today there will be more updates, but I think, the team needs to reevaluate him. So obviously, Cam Akers went in and continued to get tons of reps, fumbled. Aaron Donald knocked the ball out, and the defense got the ball, but he saw more and more reps. So this is good news for Cam Akers fans. We'll see what happens with Darrell Henderson, but he was a little fragile last year, so not a good omen for Darrell Henderson to
Wow,
start.
that's huge news.
Yeah, so we'll just monitor it. Could be like a precaution, or it could be really something. Then staying on the offensive side of the ball, Van Jefferson. Everyone know Van Jefferson caught a TD when he was running with the twos. Then the Rams wanted to put him in with the ones. They lined him up at the X slot, and he was going against Jalen Ramsey and was actually doing pretty well. Goff threw a deep ball down there, but it was a missed throw, and Ramsey almost picked it. Van Jefferson was the 12th pick in the draft, the real draft. He will outperform that. He will be better than half the receivers taken, just like Cooper Kupp, who was the 7th pick in the draft, pretty much was the best receiver out of all the receivers before him. So just Van Jefferson, when the Rams beat writer for The Athletic went to the combine and was talking to CJ Henderson, the cornerback out of Florida, she said, out of everyone here at the combine, all the receivers, which one is the best? Which one do you think would be the toughest one to guard? And he said, Van Jefferson. So Van Jefferson. Then we want to talk about Aaron Donald, dominated. Nothing really to say about that. But who's kicking for the Rams? Greg the Leg left. They drafted a guy in the 7th round. They brought a guy in from the XFL, a guy in from the CFL. Right now, it looks like the CFL guy, Liram Herulahu.
Right.
When you're doing your fantasy and you need a kicker and you're streaming a kicker and you see this weird ass last name, Herulahu with a J and H's and 2 L's. This guy's going to be the one who gets the job. He was 5 for 5. He's used to kicking in Canadian crosswinds. You should know him, Joe.
Yeah.
Toronto and Winnipeg. So that guy looks like he has the edge to be the Rams kicker. Taylor Rapp, their safety, one of their top pick from last year, has still been out with a knee injury. Nothing serious, just precaution. So Jordan Fuller, a rookie out of Ohio State, has been looking really, really good, getting those reps. And then one last guy I want to talk about, defensive stud out of Alabama, Terrell Lewis. Injury-prone guy in college, slipped a lot in the draft because of that. He is a beast. When Sean McVay saw him for the first time, he was like, this is like a Madden-created player.
Wow.
So his reps are going up. Van Jefferson reps going up. Cam Akers reps going up. There you go.
Man, that's huge. And I almost missed that. That Cam Akers news is huge because actually when the draft happened, I thought he was one of the best guys in a position to succeed this year because we know the Rams produce high-end running backs for fantasy production. So I'm excited. Sorry I missed you there, man. I just, I overlooked some things. Overall, the show went really well aside from that. So, yeah, thanks, guys, for being here. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube at FTFN. We just got the YouTube channel up. We're going to start streaming there as well starting next week. But on Twitch, guys, thanks for all the fans here. Where's Big Cat right here? We ended off with Big Cat for president here. So are you ready for the presidential role? The election is coming up very soon.
Yes, my first degree is to ban the Falcons. Fuck them.
We don't have a Falcons guy on with us today. I think he'd have his thing to say about that.
And again, my second degree is to allow drinking on all sports, social media and sports networks.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, thank you for being here, guys. Everybody, I appreciate it. We're going to end it off with pause up. All right, guys. We're out. Make sure you guys subscribe. We're out.